Hi everyone, it's me, Nikole, with an exclamation point. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember learning how to read or write. My mom said that when I was really little, I had a small chalkboard to play with and these little magnetized letters, and she said I played with that a lot. And then she and my dad would ask me what sounds all the letters made when they played with me, and I guess by the time I was 3 or so, I just sort of knew what sounds they made. I don't remember the first book I ever read by myself, but when I was in kindergarten, I was already reading Junie B. Jones' and Magic Treehouse books by myself. And then by the first grade, I was reading Series of Unfortunate Events, and when I got to second grade, I decided I wanted to take on Harry Potter. I remember being in trouble a lot in second grade because we were told that we were only allowed to read books that were on our reading level. And I tested in the 6th and 7th grade reading level, but my parents didn't really want me reading those yet because of the more grown-up themes that they weren't exactly sure how to explain to a 7-year-old. So I read second grade books in second grade, but then I was in trouble with my teacher because I wasn't reading on my reading level. So of course, being the brat that I was, I got hold of the 7th grade books that I wasn't supposed to be reading, and I read them anyway, and that's sort of how I got into Harry Potter. My parents initially didn't have a super big problem with me reading Harry Potter, but their church friends all shamed them for it and told them that they were raising a devil child, so they took it away from me and told me that I wasn't allowed to read it anymore. So I got a copy from the school library and kept it in my desk. And by the time my parents figured out what was going on, I had pretty much finished the entire series, all of the books that were out at that point. And then my parents kind of figured out that there really wasn't a whole lot they could do about it, and since I'd already read the series and I was going to kind of read what I felt like anyway, so they kind of just backed off and let me do what I wanted. In hindsight, I realized that going behind my parents' back to read a book that I wasn't supposed to sort of set a precedence for the rest of my life. I didn't care what people thought about me back then. They thought I was a devil child. I didn't care about that, and I don't really care about what people think of me now. These literary works have taught me that complacency does not change the world. And if I want to change something, I have to take it upon myself to do it. It can be stressful to live that way from time to time, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's better for me to live this way, and I have my love of books to thank for that. As far as writing goes, I've always enjoyed writing from the time I figured out how to write my name. That capital N took me forever. Don't laugh. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be an author of some sorts. I remember writing on napkins with ink pens as a little girl and making books for my parents. When I was old enough to type on a keyboard, I wrote a series about a bunny detective that solved mysteries, but that's hella embarrassing and we aren't going to talk about that anymore. I still write, and I look up to my idol Lin-Manuel Miranda as my source of inspiration. If I've got my headphones in, which I almost always do when I'm writing, I'm usually listening to something he wrote, whether it be one of his musicals or Disney movie soundtracks. His work really made me believe that I can write my way out, which is what I 100% plan to do. I try to take about an hour each day to set aside for writing, which doesn't always happen, but I make a really strong effort to. My dream is to eventually be able to inspire some kid with my art the way his art did for me. I've still got a long way to go, but I've got a lot of writing and editing credits under my belt now, and I'm currently serving as the lead prose editor of The Broken Plate here at Ball State. And in the words of my idol, there's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait.